Sucks for Curtis, right? I think it was just a bad matchup. Really couldn't get nothing going, no striking going. I am happy that Strickland was in his corner though, so he could get like a sneak peek of what's gonna happen to him against Chimaev. That fight was just announced this week. Sucks for Imavov. You got to feel for him. I thought he earned the title shot. I thought that he was going to get the title shot. But I think the trash talk and the stupidity and the era we live in now, where Strickland talks his way into a title shot, and you know it's going to get people to want to talk, people to want to view, especially with Chimaev. You know they're going to go back and forth. The only thing I'm excited for is to see Chimaev smash him and walk through him. I think that's what it's going to be. I think he's going to be able to take him down, control him, and I'm hoping that cut him open a little bit, let him bleed a little bit, and then break him mentally and tap him out. For Mavov, I don't know if he's going to be the backup, if he's going to wait, if he's going to take another fight, but I think after Chimaev wins this one, I think he'll go up to 205. And then I think that'll leave an opening at 185 for a title. So be patient, Mama.
The heat surrounding the middleweight division has reached an absolute boiling point as Khamzat Chimaev pushes himself to the physical limit in preparation for what is arguably the most dangerous, high-stakes fight of his entire career against Sean Strickland. This isn't just another fight night main event. This is a stylistic collision that has the mixed martial arts world completely divided. On one side of the spectrum, there is a profound belief in the overwhelming, almost supernatural grappling dominance of Chimaev, a man who has steamrolled virtually every opponent placed in front of him with terrifying ease and relentless chain wrestling. Fans and analysts alike point to his suffocating top control, his ability to transition seamlessly between submissions, and his raw physical power that seems almost unfair at times. But on the other side, there is unwavering confidence in Strickland's proven resilience, his iron chin that has absorbed punishment from the best strikers in the division, and his maddening ability to apply relentless, suffocating pressure for 25 full minutes without ever taking a backward step. When that cage door locks, the expectations of a standard tactical bout will be thrown out the window. This is entirely poised to be an all-out war where both men will be forced to dig deep into their reserves. The anticipation has built to fever pitch, because rarely do we see such a clear clash of vastly different fighting philosophies meeting inside the octagon. Chimaev represents the new wave of explosive, grappling-heavy fighters who aim to end nights early, while Strickland embodies the old-school tough-as-nails veteran who thrives in chaos and refuses to break no matter how much pressure is applied. This matchup has everything fight fans crave: elite skill levels, contrasting styles, and massive implications for the middleweight title picture. The weeks leading up to this contest have only intensified the excitement, with training footage showing both athletes leaving nothing to chance as they prepare for what could be a career-defining moment. Every training session, every sparring round, and every pound shed has been geared toward one singular goal: walking out of the arena victorious. The stakes could not be higher, and the entire MMA community is holding its breath in anticipation of what promises to be one of the most memorable fights in recent memory.
And Joe, the mystery of that fight is Strickland's going to get taken down. That's going to happen. He'll get taken down. But he's so well versed on getting up in his cardio. That third, fourth, and fifth round, if he keeps getting up, defend the submissions, that's when it gets interesting.
He's also so hard to hit. He's so hard to hit. He does so many sneaky things on the feet that people don't see coming.
Keeps coming.
Yep.
Keeps coming.
Yeah, no way Khamzat's gonna fucking stand with him. He's gonna try to take him down. No way.
Keeping you. Yeah. Khamzat can strike too, though. Did you see the video of Khamzat striking with Khalil?
No,
he's
totally.
No
but you think that's the best strategy for Khamzat? No way.
No, the best strategy.
Because Strickland could fucking
drag him to the ground.
He's got great striking. Why would you take a chance?
The only thing that would make sense is if he wanted to make up for the last fight where a lot of people thought it was boring when he won against Strickland.
Because he didn't look for a finish.
Dude,
so he just comes out and tries to blast
Dude, if he tries to stand
out
with Strickland, dude, he's...
But here's why he can try to stand with Strickland, because he's not a knockout artist. Like, he's a volume puncher, like a Nate Diaz. It's a lot of volume. So even if you do stand with him and you get pieced up, he's not really...
What elevates this matchup from a fascinating physical contest to a deeply volatile situation is the psychological warfare native to this rivalry. Renowned MMA analyst Din Thomas has highlighted that the overarching narrative isn't just about how these two match up technically, but how they interact mentally before and during the fight. Strickland has built a reputation for unapologetic trash talk, often crossing lines to mentally break his opponents before the opening bell even rings. He knows exactly which buttons to push and has a long history of getting under the skin of his rivals, turning fights into personal vendettas. Yet, the consensus among experts is that attempting to play mind games with a fighter as explosive and notoriously short-tempered as Chimaev is a terrifying gamble that could explode in Strickland's face. Chimaev is a completely different kind of presence inside and outside the cage. Provoking him might not result in a strategic advantage. It could easily backfire, supplying an already ferocious competitor with a terrifying slice of extra motivation that makes him even more dangerous. Adding a massive layer of intrigue is the undeniable shared history between the two. Having previously spent time sharing the mats in the same training room, the tension radiating between them isn't the manufactured promotional hype that fight fans are used to seeing in most matchups. It is rooted in genuine, palpable dislike that has simmered for years, transforming this bout into a deeply personal clash waiting to detonate the moment they step foot inside the octagon. This personal animosity adds an extra edge that cannot be replicated through standard fight promotions. Both men have spoken openly about their feelings toward one another, and the words exchanged have only fueled the fire. For Chimaev, this is more than just another step toward the title. It is a chance to settle old scores. For Strickland, it represents an opportunity to prove that his style and mentality can overcome even the most hyped prospects in the sport. The mental battle has already begun in the media and on social platforms, with each fighter trying to gain the upper hand psychologically. Experts believe this added emotional layer could lead to mistakes from either side, as emotions run high and the desire to dominate becomes deeply personal. In many ways, the psychological aspect may prove just as decisive as the physical skills displayed once the fight begins.
Because some people may say that they don't have high expectations for the fight, but the build will be incredible.
Yeah, in terms of what the fight might actually look like, it's not the best for me of what it actually might look like. I think in terms of what the best fight might look like in all these fights is Ilya Gaethje. But this fight, there's so much involved in it. One, why it interests me the most is because I didn't expect it to happen so soon. It was like you didn't hear from Chimaev. Everybody's talking about how he weighs like 400 pounds. Like you don't know where he's at. And the next thing you know, they're like, yo, Chimaev's fighting Sean Strickland, in a couple months. You're like, what? Like, so it just, to me, it kind of came out of nowhere. And so like, that's one, I didn't expect it. Two, Sean looked so good in his last fight that I believe that he's capable of beating Chimaev, and he might be the only middleweight on the planet right now that's capable of beating Chimaev.
When dissecting the technical fabric of this fight, legendary commentator Joe Rogan and his peers have zeroed in on the absolute crux of the matchup: the inevitability of the takedown. There is virtually no denying that Chimaev's wrestling operates on an entirely different stratosphere compared to most fighters in the division. And at some point in the fight, Strickland will almost certainly find himself on the canvas. However, the true mystery of this fight lies in what happens immediately after the initial takedown attempt succeeds. Strickland possesses an uncanny, proven ability to continuously scramble back to his feet with excellent hip escapes and defensive awareness, paired with a relentless cardiovascular engine that somehow only seems to grow stronger as fights drag into the championship rounds. If Chimaev expends his explosive early energy securing repeated takedowns, only to have Strickland stand back up time and time again, the dynamic of the fight could shift drastically in the later rounds. Strickland's unorthodox, sneaky striking and constant forward pressure make him a nightmare for any opponent who begins to fade or slows down even slightly. His pace is suffocating, and he rarely gives opponents time to breathe or reset. The unanswered question looming over the MMA community is whether Chimaev will stubbornly stick to a grappling-heavy game plan throughout all 5 rounds, or if he will take the massive risk of standing right in front of a high-volume, pressure-heavy striker who throws everything but the kitchen sink with bad intentions. Many believe Chimaev's wrestling is simply too good to ignore, but others warn that over-relying on it against a fighter with Strickland's durability and gas tank could lead to disaster. The chess match between Chimaev's elite grappling and Strickland's elite pressure and scramble ability creates a fascinating tactical puzzle. Both fighters have shown the ability to adapt mid-fight, but the success of their adjustments will likely decide who walks away with the victory. Training camps for both sides have focused heavily on these specific areas, with Chimaev sharpening his wrestling chains and Strickland drilling his defensive scrambling and counter-striking. The technical breakdown of this fight reveals layers upon layers of complexity that make it one of the most intriguing matchups in recent years.
You know, if we had Nasruddin, for as great as he is, like, I just didn't, in my head, I couldn't see it happening. But I can see Sean Strickland doing it. Like, he looked sharp as hell in his last fight. He looked amazing in his last fight. If he can carry that over into this fight, he might beat Chimaev. So, like, to me, that's intriguing to me. Also, what's intriguing to me is they have history. And that's partially one of the biggest factors that makes any fight interesting is history between the guys. They have history. They've trained together before, and they don't like each other. And when you consider that they might not like each other, it's probably somewhat real. Like, a lot of guys fabricate the beef so that they can, sell it, or we're just trying to sell a fight. But you can tell that these guys probably don't really care for each other.
The stark contrast in predictions from the sport's elite minds only highlights the absolute unpredictability of this matchup. Top welterweight contender Belal Muhammad foresees a grim, one-sided affair, predicting that Chimaev will stalk Strickland like a predator, entirely shut down his offense, and break him both physically and mentally en route to a dominant submission victory. Muhammad's confidence in Chimaev stems from seeing similar styles up close and believing that few fighters can withstand the Chechen's relentless pace and power. In complete contrast, highly analytical veteran Chael Sonnen views Strickland as the exact prototype needed to genuinely challenge Chimaev and expose any potential weaknesses. Looking past the aura of invincibility that surrounds the rising star, Sonnen points out that neutralizing Chimaev requires a very specific set of tools: elite takedown defense, constant forward pressure, and the ability to survive early storms. Strickland perfectly fits that mold, making him the ideal candidate to drag Chimaev out of his comfort zone and force him to empty his entire tool belt over 5 grueling rounds. This divide in expert opinion has created intense debates across MMA platforms and podcasts, with fans passionately defending their chosen side. Some argue that Chimaev's youth and explosiveness will prove too much, while others believe Strickland's experience and unbreakable will give him the edge in a long fight. The lack of consensus among knowledgeable voices only adds to the excitement and uncertainty surrounding the bout. Every prediction comes with its own detailed reasoning, yet the truth remains that this fight could go in several different directions depending on how the early moments unfold. The wide range of forecasts reflects just how evenly matched the stylistic elements appear on paper, even if the betting odds may favor one man. This unpredictability is exactly what makes combat sports so captivating to fans around the world.
In terms of words, I'm not too worried about that, Khamzat saying, but his physical presence.
Yeah, and that too.
Short temper, like that.
And that too.
Could explode in that sense.
Yeah, and that too is like, Chimaev might, Sean's going to say some crazy wild stuff, and then he's going to leave it at that, and he's going to wait for the fight. But you just don't know what Chimaev and his people might do if they're like truly offended,
right?
Or what he might say or do if they're truly offended.
Yeah, is that the right approach for Sean though? Right? Like, do you want to try to get Khamzat emotional and angry and maybe fight a little different, or is giving this guy any slice of extra motivation like a terrifying thought and maybe not a good idea?
I don't know if I would go that route. I would just, I would kind of maybe focus on my game and maybe not see if I can't rile this guy up anymore. Because you just, like I said, man, you never know, man. You never know, man. You can't.
Sucks for Curtis, right? I think it was just a bad matchup. Really couldn't get nothing going, no striking going. I am happy that Strickland was in his corner, though. So he could get like a sneak peek of what's going to happen to him against Chimaev. That fight was just announced this week. Sucks for Imavov. You got to feel for him. I thought he earned a title shot. I thought that he was going to get the title shot. But I think the trash talk and the stupidity and the era we live in now, where Strickland talks his way into a title shot, and it's going to get people to want to talk, people to want to view, especially with Chimaev. They're going to go back and forth. The only thing I'm excited for is to see Chimaev smash him and walk through him. I think that's what it's going to be. I think he's going to be able to take him down, control him, and I'm hoping that cut him open a little bit, let him bleed a little bit, and then break him mentally and tap him out. For Mavov, I don't know if he's going to be the backup, if he's going to wait, if he's going to take another fight, but I think after Chimaev wins this one, I think he'll go up to 205. And then I think that'll leave an opening at 185 for a title, so be patient.
Building upon the narrative of a true test, former champion Kamaru Usman has offered a brilliant, thought-provoking perspective regarding Chimaev's terrifying potential once the fight reaches deeper waters. Despite Chimaev's undeniable status as a generational talent who has dominated most of his opponents, the MMA world has arguably never seen him put together a truly complete, multi-layered performance under real adversity. He has historically been so utterly dominant in his primary grappling attacks that he has never been forced to showcase his full arsenal, including his evolving striking game and in-fight adjustments. Usman theorizes that if Strickland's defensive tactics can successfully neutralize the early wrestling onslaught, it will drag Chimaev into deep, uncharted waters where his true capabilities will finally be revealed. For the first time, fans might witness the full breadth of Chimaev's striking, his mid-fight adjustments, and his fight IQ when faced with true adversity and a resilient opponent who refuses to quit. Fellow dynamic striker Michael MVP Page echoes the sentiment of Chimaev's otherworldly athleticism, but notes that stepping into the cage with him remains a brutal test of will for any competitor. Page believes that Strickland's willingness to take this fight is a testament to his own unbreakable self-belief and confidence in his game plan. Both Usman and Page highlight that this contest could serve as the ultimate proving ground for Chimaev, potentially elevating him to superstar status if he rises to the occasion, or exposing cracks if the fight does not go according to plan. The possibility of seeing a more complete version of Khamzat Chimaev has the entire community buzzing with excitement and curiosity.
The big question when you're fighting Chimaev, like before we get into resumes, who's ranked, who should be there, when we come down to what's the guy that possesses the skill set where we can close our eyes and make believe that Chimaev could get beat, we have to first be able to convince ourselves that that guy possesses superior takedown defense to the excellent offense takedown abilities of Chimaev. I think Strickland's that guy. I think they found the right guy. 6-1 surprises me.
Outside looking in, I feel like Imavov would deserved the fight, and that's the fight we should be talking about right now. But I've had the pleasure of seeing Chimaev in the gym, working very closely with him, and that guy is a monster. Yeah, he's not normal. And it's I always say it's nice to see someone that is, high, that is very high level in a slightly different area. And I'm watching him, and it was beautiful to watch. Beautiful to watch. So yeah, it's seeing it up close and personal. Obviously seeing it in the fights, but seeing it up close and personal he's going to be a tough person to.
As the fight approaches, the tactical pathways to victory become heavily scrutinized by champions of the sport. Double champion Henry Cejudo has explicitly warned of Chimaev's terrifying early blitz, a chaotic sequence capable of ending fights in literal seconds if the opponent is not fully prepared. Cejudo emphasizes that Strickland's absolute priority must be surviving that initial violent storm, maintaining complete composure under fire, and adjusting on the fly to turn the bout into a high-stakes tactical showdown rather than a quick highlight reel finish. Meanwhile, former bantamweight king Aljamain Sterling envisions a longer, grueling battle that plays out over the full 25 minutes. Sterling predicts that Chimaev will actively avoid the dangers of Strickland's durable, high-volume striking by imposing a suffocating grappling masterclass from start to finish. In Sterling's eyes, Chimaev won't necessarily look for a quick, spectacular finish, but will instead utilize superior distance management, chain wrestling, and dominant positional control to grind out a definitive victory. These contrasting tactical blueprints from respected champions illustrate the multiple ways this fight could unfold. Some paths lead to an explosive early finish, while others point toward a war of attrition where conditioning and mental toughness become the deciding factors. Both fighters have spent their training camps drilling these exact scenarios, leaving no stone unturned in their preparation. The depth of analysis from current and former champions shows just how much respect this matchup commands across the MMA landscape. No matter which tactical approach prevails, one thing is certain: the winner will have to earn every single second of victory through pure skill, heart, and determination.
Khamzat Chimaev is one of those guys to where we know is a very, very special guy. He has the ability to do these great things, but at the same time, we're still waiting for a complete performance, because it's almost like he uses one skill, and he's so dominant that he's able to still dominate and win these fights, to where we're still kind of waiting for that one guy that's going to stop that one dominant thing that he does, and then we see all of his arsenal. And I've said Khamzat is talented enough to where he has all the weapons. He's needing that guy, that dance partner, to make him have to use him and bring him all out. And I think this could be the fight right here. If Sean Strickland is able to stop Khamzat Chimaev from taking him down, then Khamzat has to stand with him. And that's where you're potentially going to see all of Khamzat's arsenal. The striking, the kicks, the punches, all of that. That's where you get to see it. Or maybe Sean Strickland takes over and really dominates this fight and breaks it wide open. But I'm excited.
Ultimately, the stage is set for an electrifying, high-stakes collision that has the potential to violently reshape the landscape of the middleweight division for years to come. It is a classic battle of unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, where two vastly different fighting styles and personalities will collide with maximum intensity. Whether it concludes with Chimaev's explosive grappling, dismantling yet another top contender in dominant fashion, or Strickland's iron durability, technical pressure, and championship round resilience shocking the world. This is a clash of styles, wills, and pure aggression that will be analyzed, debated, and remembered for years. The implications extend far beyond a single win or loss, as the victor will likely position himself as a major player in the title conversation. Fight fans worldwide are eagerly awaiting the moment the cage door closes and the action begins. This matchup represents everything that makes MMA special: the blend of athleticism, strategy, emotion, and raw courage. Both athletes have dedicated their lives to this sport, and on fight night, all their hard work will be put on display for the world to judge. In the end, only one man will have his hand raised, but both will walk away having contributed to what promises to be an unforgettable chapter in middleweight history. The excitement is palpable, and the anticipation continues to build as the final days tick down. This is the type of fight that reminds everyone why they fell in love with the sport in the first place.